Today we're going to get back into Summer Wells and the unfortunate murders of Bella and Celeste Watts, as well as the Madeline McCann disappearance. She was a 3-year-old little girl. It's a cold case. And we're going to discuss whether or not this could possibly have to do with a very large child trafficking ring or human trafficking ring, and the symbology of the photos. So let's break it down. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Every time I think of Little Summer Wells recently, that keeps ringing through my head of that old school commercial. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? This ominous question, somberly intoned just prior to the local news, was eventually parodied by a multitude of stand-up comedians, novelty song artists, and horror movie posters. But the original intent of the line was very serious. New curfew laws had gone into effect in several cities across the U.S. as a result of urban unrest and rioting during the summer of 1967. New York City, feeling the effects of the Newark riots, was one of the largest metropolitan areas affected. Mel Epstein, the director of on-air promotions at New York's WNEW-TV, coined the phrase that summer as a reminder to parents to keep their kids off the streets. How crazy is it? He coined the phrase that summer as a reminder to parents to keep their kids off the streets. And then we have the picture of Summer Wells with the milk cartons. Wow. New anchor Tom Gregory started using the question to kick off each nightly broadcast of his Faces and Places in the news show. When Faces and Places was replaced by the 10 o'clock news, the on-air and backstage personnel may have changed, but the catchphrase remained the same. So we have Summer Wells, who was reported missing on June 15th, 2021, and there were 221 tips as of that following morning in Hawkins County, Tennessee. 221 equals 5. Summer Wells was 5 years old. And it also was literally right before the summer solstice. And she just vanished. She just up and vanished. No signs of her. It's been 62 days and there's no leads that we're aware of anyway. Is this going to turn into another cold case like the missing little girl Madeline McCann, who vanished with her parents on vacation on May 3rd, 2007 from Praia de Luz, Portugal, right before Cinco de Mayo. There's allegedly a suspect, allegedly all these years later, but I say that very allegedly, if you catch what I'm swaying. And this is a cold case. It's just been chaos and confusion since the day this little girl went missing. Such a tragedy. Then we go on to the Watts girls, Bella and Celeste, whom were murdered on August 13th, 2018, which is midsummer, another big ancient ritual from ancient times. A lot of people practice these holidays, are into pagan worship, and it has nothing to do with child sacrifice. I'm talking about the original etymology of these pagan holidays and what they were doing back in the day. And back in the day, they were doing child and little baby sacrifices. So my question is there a group of people that are still doing that? And they're marking it by the dates. Is that why they started putting little children on the milk cartons back in the day? Is that why they started it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your child is? ? I'm sure like many of you watching, you've been watching not only missing children cases, but also serial killer cases. And the one commonality between these missing children and the serial killer cases is serial killers tend to leave a calling card. I don't know if you're familiar with what a calling card is, but a calling card is they would do something purposefully over and over after each murder to leave a symbol or a sign, aka a calling card, that they're the ones doing it. It's like they're marking their kill. And a lot of these serial killers, which there have been serial killers throughout time, like Jack the Ripper and whatnot. There was many of them. And it seems if they weren't purposefully leaving calling cards, then they at least had a methodology to their madness, if that makes sense. So would it be a far jump to say that in these missing person and missing children cases, that they as well are leaving calling cards or marking their crime? I leave that to you to ponder. In my humble opinion, I believe that to be true. There are many people that speak sign language, for one, so hand symbols is a form of another tongue or language. Just as writing is a language, right? We have spelling. In English, we call it spelling. And I don't know if people realize how powerful words are, but when we're spelling, one is casting spells. So we have to be very careful what we write and what we say. So now we have sign language, which is using the hands to communicate, which is a language. And then we have symbols, which is the most ancient of ancient ways that one communicated back in antiquity. There would be a symbol, which meant something to the people that knew what the symbol meant. Maybe their tribe had a symbol and they would mark it. Just like in gangs, when they tag their gang name on a building, that's for either their enemy to take note of or to mark their turf, right? Well, would that be the same thing with people that abduct children and traffic them and adults? Question mark? I think so. I mean, look at the picture of Alexis Sharkey. She's thriving on ice. This was one of the symbolic photographs that popped out to me when investigating the unsolved murder of Alexis Sharkey, who was also in an MLM. And then you have this photograph of Madeleine McCann and one of the reported sightings of a sketch of a man that looks just like the picture that Chris Watts sent to Shanann. That is so very eerily similar to this photograph of Summer Wells, who's lying against milk cartons. And there you have the milk carton symbology. It's 10 p.m. somewhere in the world. Do you know where your children are? Question mark. Thank you for walking with me, guys. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to support these works and to support this channel, and put your notifications on so you're alerted when we post new videos. And I thank you so very much for walking with me, and I appreciate all the support that you guys give this channel. We love you so much. So have a blessed day, and we'll be back soon.